For Fun Home.
Cześć, witajcie w For Fun Home i dzisiaj wyjątkowy gość z zagranicy, fantastyczny brytyjski muzyk Rag & Bone Man, który w 2017 roku zachwycił nas singlem Human, a dzisiaj powraca z kolejnymi piosenkami i kolejnym albumem, który już w maju ma się pojawić. Między innymi o singlu Anywhere Away From Here i tej płycie porozmawiamy sobie z nim właśnie teraz. Hi, hello Rory.
Hello.
I'm very curious, to be honest, about your new album because when I hear those singles you released, it promises to be different than the previous one. So your latest single, Anywhere Away From Here, is nothing like Human, which is not a bad thing, of course. So I wonder what happened to you? What has changed? Is it the influence of your son or the craziness around us in the world or something different?
It's a couple of things, really. Like, I would say that having my son definitely influenced my ability to write songs in a different way. But it also is really about influence. You know, it's about leaning on a different set of influences for this album. You know, I was listening to a lot more singer-songwriter stuff. So, for instance, like musicians like Elton John and people like Paul Simon and the Beatles and just a lot more organic kind of music, and so it just made me want to make something that feels like it's all live instruments, you know, and it doesn't feel like it's overproduced or it's just like a band in the room. Is kind of what I felt like I wanted to do. So, you know, and also it was influenced by Nashville, the sound of Nashville. So really, a really important part of this record.
It's a bit against the flow, the trends right now. So how do you feel about it? Are you maybe a little scared that it won't be the commercial success, or yeah?
I think, like, in a way, but I think as long as I can be like proud of the record that I've made and look back and, you know, and realize that I made something that was, you know, that didn't sound like everything else. And I think if you have an idea like that, then you have to go with your heart, you know, and really stick to what you had a vision for. And this was the vision for my album. So regardless of commercial success, I'm going to be happy with it.
Yeah, I think that's the core of being an artist, right? To just try to tell something. So what are you trying to tell with your music?
I mean, I'm just trying to be honest about my own life, to be honest. Like it's kind of a mixture of songs about growing up and being a father, and songs about my childhood, and then, you know, my worries about the future and how it's going to be for my son when he grows up, you know, and hopefully giving him the lessons and the advice that he needs to grow up into a good person, you know.
Mm-hmm. And being a father, has it changed your view and your perspective for your own childhood?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I talk about it on Changing of the Guard, about, you know, the way that we were told things when we were kids, like, you know, don't, you know, as a boy, as a man, don't be emotional, don't, you know, it's wrong to cry, or it's, you know, you should be like manly. And it's like, well, those are the kind of things that I want to teach my son that's wrong, you know, and say that he should be able to talk about his feelings as a man, and he should be able to, you know, be upset if he's upset and not feel bad about it. So I think it's kind of important that for our generation to do that with our kids and let them know that it's all right.
That's very very wise things to tell to your kids and to teach them. And I feel like you've had ups and downs during your career, and actually like a big breakthrough came to you pretty late. So was it hard for you just to stay just believe, or did you have thoughts about giving up?
Yeah, many times. Many times I've thought about giving up because it's difficult. Like it's not an easy thing to do, you know. And there were points where I got offered, you know, scenarios like, why don't you go onto the X Factor or stuff like that? And it's like, it's not me. And you know, there were a lot of times playing for no money or playing for beer that are like, I can't survive doing two jobs at the same time. But it comes down to one thing, and it's like, how much do you really love it? And for me, it was everything. So no, there's no other feeling like being on stage, and I wouldn't give it up for anything, to be honest.
So how did you feel when it finally came to you? You were like 32 years old when Human Success came to you. So there are so many singers that are successful in their early 20s.
Yeah,
So
I felt grateful though, because if I'm really honest, like if I was successful when I was 21, I probably would have been a dick. So I'm kind of glad that I was a bit more grown up.
okay, so I've heard you're one of the most hardworking people in show business. And when you look at your success now, was it because of your incomparable voice, your talent, or patience and hardworking?
Both, man. Like honestly, I I kind of realized that my voice was distinctive, and but a lot of it is about being at the right place at the right time, and having music that kind of sticks out from anything else. And like it felt like that was mainly the reason at the time that it took off and the way it did, is because it didn't sound like anything else that was on the radio at the time, you know. And if you hear it amongst all of the other music that was out at the time, it definitely stuck out. So, you know, for me, that was probably the reason more than anything else.
And well, obviously it's a good thing when your music it's different than the mainstream music, but I feel like sometimes it's the it gives you a harder way to break through because radio stations want to play the music that everyone knows. So how to make what you did, like put your own music which that is different but still break through to the mainstream? It's a lack or
It's a very difficult question because I don't really know. I mean, there's always that risk of doing that because, like I say, you have to be authentic to yourself. You know, it can't be like, oh, I really want to make this album that sounds like live with guitars and stuff, and then make one single that sounds like trap drums and like auto tune and stuff. It's like, you know, you have to be authentic to yourself, because if you don't, you've got nothing. So yeah, I think as long as you do that, then it doesn't matter about radio success and stuff. You know, if they really like it, then they'll play it. If they don't, it's not the end of the world.
And when music and playing and singing gave you more satisfaction, when you started, when you were singing or playing in the bars, on the streets, or in a huge concert?
Well, it gives me more now because there's more people to listen. You know, there's nothing much satisfactory about playing in a bar to like 6 people. So yeah, definitely now that's the thing that drives me, and my motivation and ambition is to play to more people and to new audiences all the time. So yeah, definitely on stage, 100%.
And did you experience some booze or like empty space when
Yeah,
you were singing?
loads of that. But I don't think anyone ever really booed me. But I remember playing in a bar just to the barman and like my girlfriend, and that was it. There was like 2 people, you know, and that's not, it happened a few times. So, you know, like the first time I played Glastonbury Festival, it was to about 500 people in a massive field. So, you know.
It looked pretty the same.
Yeah.
So what your girlfriend told you after this concert for her and the bartender?
Oh, she probably just told me, don't be sad. It'll be okay. It'll get better. It did. It got better. It got better.
Definitely. That's great. And would you like your son to become a musician?
Oh, of course, definitely. I would want that for him, but he hasn't showed signs yet. But he's only 3, so you know, give him some time.
Even all those hard experience that you've had?
Yeah, of course, because it's character building. You know, traveling the length of the country with a guitar on your back is character building.
Yeah, it's a hell of a story and adventure.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Wow, great. Thank you for the conversation. Yeah, fingers crossed for your new album and your music, and thank you for your time.
Have a great day, man.
Yeah, have a great day. See you. To był Rag & Bone Man w For Fun Home. Jak widzicie, człowiek o wielkim talencie, ale też wielkiej cierpliwości i determinacji, bo bardzo długo musiał czekać na swój sukces i zdarzało mu się dla pustej sali też grać, chociaż dzisiaj tłumy przychodzą na jego koncerty. Dzięki Wam za dzisiaj w takim razie. Cieszę się, że byliście z nami w For Fun Home, no i zapraszam Was też na kolejne nasze wywiady. Trzymajcie się i do zobaczenia.
For Fun TV. Najwięcej muzyki.